Well, yeah, the chimes of Big Ben just up the road hitting 11 a.m. and it's a very different Britain. David Cameron, 2 years ago, gambled and won on a Scotland referendum. Today he's gambled and lost. It was quite an emotional moment earlier at number 10 Downing Street as he came out and spoke a lot of emotion in his voice towards the end of his speech with his wife Samantha as he walked back into number 10, announcing that he'll be stepping down before the Conservative Party Congress in October. And you have a sense it could be a very different Great Britain. We're still waiting, Molly, to hear from Boris Johnson, one of the leaders of the Leave campaign, who has yet to speak. When he left his home earlier, we heard a few boos along with the press scrum, and that gives a sense that there's still a lot of divisiveness and a lot of acrimony over this campaign. Political lines are being redrawn as we speak. Who will replace David Cameron is one question, but as you mentioned it, Molly, and David Cameron said so, the first priority is to stabilize markets, to reassure people. No word yet on when that negotiation will finally be concluded with Brussels, but we know there's a meeting early next week in Brussels to start to work to plan out just how Great Britain and Northern Ireland are leaving the EU.
Indeed, and Francois, something else that we heard for the Prime Minister today was that he was trying to install a sense of stability and calm, calling on people to just say nothing will change for the immediate future. Of course, we don't even know when the Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty is going to be triggered or going to be called. What is the general sentiment there where you are?
It's a mix of reactions. Here outside number 10, we have the usual mix of tourists, and at the same time, people who've come, some shouting "Go Boris!" One man with a European Union flag. We spoke to one young supporter of the Leave campaign who says he doesn't agree with the very pro-free market message of the likes of Boris Johnson and Nigel Farage of UKIP, but that he did think immigration was a problem. It hadn't been properly addressed. I said to him, why don't you come on camera and talk about it? He says, I can't, because all of my family voted for Remain. If I come on camera, they won't speak to me again.
Indeed, Francois, that's interesting that you mentioned that. This really has exposed some strong divisions there within the United Kingdom, falling not only on geographical lines, but also on generational lines.
Generational lines, and can I say as well, party lines. And this was one of the most interesting things. Now, we mentioned we've yet to hear from Boris Johnson. We heard David Cameron's emotional resignation speech. The first big speech we got shortly after dawn was Nigel Farage, not too far from here, outside of Westminster. And one of the things he said was, the old Labour vote has come to us. When those first results, Molly, came in late last night from places like Sunderland in the north, and there was such a swing towards Leave, there really was a sense that rank and file, working class Labour Party voters had not sided with their party leadership. We know about the Conservative Party being divided, some 40% of MPs who did not go the way of David Cameron and who were for leaving the European Union. Conservatives are split, the Labour Party is split. It's a small formation, but UKIP is the only one who's united, and Nigel Farage was all smiles when he spoke.